So now in this part of our Django login tutorials, we're going to add some styles to our login form. So first of all, I'm going to add the styles, and then I will explain what each of those styles are going to do for us. So first of all, I'm going to paste the styles inside of this blog content, because wherever else you will paste it, it might not affect these tags over here. So I will paste it right here, and now I'm going to explain everything. So first of all, we're going to have all these tags related to HTML head, and we have meta, and then we're going to get to style. So here inside of this style we have the body. So we determine the font, and we also, for the font, we determine the border, and for the input, which is inside of our form, so we had this form .sp, and inside of it there are a number of inputs. As you saw, it was username and password. So for the inputs, we're going to determine some styles. So we had the password, the text, and so we have determined some styles related to the sizes, the border, the display, the margin, the padding, and width. And you can add any other number of features for this input tag. We also have H1, and I've aligned the text to the center. So H1 was here, it was the title, login form. And we also have the button for accepting and logging in. So for the button, we have determined a color. I can change the color to something else, but green is used most of the time. I can use it to a lighter green near to yellow. Doesn't really matter. So you can set the colors by hand or by a hexadecimal code. And here there are different colors for, this is the background color, this is the color for the writing, and some other features are inside of the button. And then we have button hover, and you can set the opacity. And we also have a cancel. We don't have a cancel button, so I can omit this part. We do not need it. So let me delete that part. And we have the container, which is going to contain all of our tags here. So let me create a div containing our class. So I would prefer it for my form. So div and class equals container. So here I close the tag, and I'm gonna cut and paste it after the form. So there we go. So let me create space. Okay, so I guess that's it. We have we can run the server and see what happens. So Python manage.py run server, and now let's click on the link. So if I click on the login, you will see that we have this page over here. This screen here somehow irritates my eyes, so I can change the color. Notice that you can make all of these changes so easily by just choosing the kind of color that you like. So it can be blue, it can be any other color. So that's it. Let me save this and refresh the page. So as you can see, it's now blue. So you can add any other styles. And if I log in, so as you can see, because it's the wrong user and password, it says that please enter a correct username and password. So now let me change this to James and our new password for James. And as you can see, we are logged in. So I can also change the style for our homepage, whether we are logged in or logged out. So if I log out, we have this. If I log in, we have that. And so it's better to add actually some styles and add probably a nav bar to our homepage so that we can say that, okay, we are in this page home, or we are in the other page related to some other data, or we can add a slideshow, and we have the code right here for home. So we need to have one style for the times that we are logged in, and another style for the time that we are not logged in. So now here in the home.html, I'm going to add my styles here. So I'm going to paste it and then explain what's going on. So here, just as always, we have meta tag for starting our style, and then we have a style. We have the text of the styles related to text, and one class for active for our nav bar, and then we have the body. We have H2, which is better to convert it to H1 because we have H1, and then we have UL and LI for the unordered list and list items, which we are going to use for the nav bar. And then we have LIA and the hover and active for showing that a certain nav bar is active. For example, homepage is active right now. And then we have the navbar class. So let me come down to here, and there we go. So here we're going to remove this part. So we're going to fully remove this p tag here, and for the time when the user is authenticated, let me add some br tag to create a space between the navbar and you're logged in. So here I'm going to add the nav bar. So the tag that we're going to use in HTML is unordered list. So there we go, we have the unordered list, so we need to add the list items. So for that we use li tag. So, and also a for adding a reference. So here I'm going to add href. Oh yes, this is a tag, and so here I'm going to add href equals to, and then here I'm going to add the URL related to our home. So here we have 2% signs, and then we have URL, and then apostrophe, and then the name of the URL, which is home, and the name of that is home. So that's it for the home. You can also add a class equals active, class equals active. It's better to use quotation marks here, but not a big difference. So active, and this is going to activate that specific part of navbar related to home because we are already in the home. Also, I'm going to add another li tag for creating a login link on the navbar. So another a tag, and then here href equals to again we have the link, person signs, and here we have URL, and So here we are authenticated, right? So we need to add the logout actually. So the logout link for the user in order to log out. And we can repeat the same process over here for the time that the user is not logged in. So let me copy and paste this one, or actually this one right over here, and repeat the same process for here. So this should be before you're not logged in. And there we go. And instead of logout, we need to add login. So here we have home, which is activated. In both cases, we are in home. So home is activated in the navbar. So let me save the code and let us try and refresh the page. Here, this is my first test. So let me change this to here. You're logged in as James, but we don't have the navbar here for logging out. So let me test it here. We have login and log out. So we have the URL for logout and everything should work fine. So here we haven't set the name related to logout. So let me add this here, logout and login for here. So let's save this and here refresh the page. As you can see, we have logout, which we can click on. And so we can click on the login, and now we can enter the username and password. Okay, you're logged in as James. You can log out, log in as Anna. So we have Anna with a capital letter. And then the password, which was different from James. And as you can see, we have this. So we have all the styles set for a kind of a minimalistic website with just a login and logout. We can add so many other styles, so many other elements. But for now, the general goal was to create a login, logout application. So in the next part of our tutorials, we're going to talk about the registration and sign up. So we're going to add another navbar, part of the navbar for the sign up. We're also going to change our backend code to be able to create the users by themselves. So that's it for this part of the tutorial.